develops simply by hearing about Krishna. The same with Rukmini. Rukmini never met Krishna for a long time. All she was doing was just hearing about Krishna. And simply by hearing about Krishna, that love developed. Oftentimes, sometimes I give class on a Sunday, and you'll see the arti is packed here. It's just completely packed. And then they announce, now we'll do Bhagavad Gita class. And then 90% of the people leave, and there's just a few people. And when I would give class, the first thing I say, I congratulate you. I congratulate you for staying to hear. Because Prabhupada says, you go to a holy place, but not to see, but to hear. What does that mean? It means you can come in front of Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda, you can come in front of Shri Shri Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, and you can stand in front of the deities, you can see. But nothing is happening in your heart. There's no bhava there. There's no stirring of emotions. All you're doing is you're seeing. But if you hear, by the process of hearing, we become purified, and the love for Krishna within our heart awakens. So I said, I congratulate you, because you've stayed to hear. And by staying to hear, the more you hear, the more you come in front of the Lord, then the more the process of actually seeing takes place. Because then the bhava, the emotion within your heart, becomes more manifest. So this process of hearing is so important. Srila Prabhupada, he stressed it, and Prabhupada he even said, I want to quote this verse. Prabhupada talks about himself, his own experience in life, about how he's attracted the mercy of his Guru. And Prabhupada was saying, when my Guru Maharaj was speaking, at least my brain was puzzled. And Prabhupada laughs. He said, even he would speak in Bengali, it was very difficult to understand. He was speaking from a very, very high platform, but I wanted to hear him. That's all. Even I did not understand it. That he appreciated, and Prabhupada laughs. That this boy, he does not go away, he hears. Actually, that was my position. In the beginning, I could not understand what he was speaking, but I wanted to hear, that's all. I was very much anxious to hear. That he marked, and he was kindly pleased to me that he wants to hear, he does not go away. That was my policy, let me hear. Even if I do not understand, let me hear, that's all. So, in the beginning stages, in the sadhaka stage, where we do not have that taste for hearing, we come, we make the effort. We do not think, oh, today Vrindavan Chandra is giving class, he's a bit boring, I won't come. When I hear Kartik Chandra Prabhu or Govinda Prabhu or others are giving class, I'll come. No, we're not selective. I'm coming to hear, to purify myself. And in the Bhagavatam, Krishna says something very significant about such a devotee. He says, Shrinvata swakatam Krishna punya shravana kirtanam hridayantasto hibadrani vidunoti suritsatam. Krishna says, when he notices that a devotee has some affinity to hear, what does he do? This verse, Krishna says, hridayantasto hibadrani. He personally enters into the heart of such a person, and he cleanses the heart. He cleanses the heart of the impurities that may exist there, that is preventing real taste from developing. So even if we do not have that natural, like as Vidura was saying, adore to hear, but simply because we have a little affinity to hear, we know that process of coming really, really purifies. There's one nice story one Vrajavasi once told. There was a devotee. Wherever there was a Bhagavad Katha, he would go. He will travel. He won't miss one Bhagavad Katha. So one day, he's sitting in the Bhagavad Katha and he feels someone tapping his shoulder. He turns around and he looks, and it's Krishna. And then Krishna tells his devotee, you know what? I've been noticing you. You have such affinity, such eagerness to hear my katha. You ask for any benediction, I'll give it to you now. And the devotee turns to Krishna and he says, Krishna, thank you very much. I really appreciate you, but can we just leave this for now? This katha is so wonderful. I just want to hear this, and can we talk about this a bit later? He was relishing this katha so much. Once Hanuman, he went to Lord Ram and he said, Lord, I'm tired. I've been working so hard. I've been doing so much. I need a vacation. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. Jai Shri Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman ki jai. Shri Shri Gaurnita ki jai. He says to Lord Ram, I need a vacation. So Lord Ram says, okay, Hanuman, fine, you need a vacation, but I'm just interested. When you take your vacation, where are you going to go to? And Hanuman replied, I'm going to find that place where your devotees are very much engaged in Ram Katha. And I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to have a lovely vacation. So this is the way of the pure devotees. Always eager to hear. And we see throughout the Bhagavatam this being displayed. Maharaj Parikshit, when he received the curse to die within 7 days, what did he do? He took out all of his royal regalia. He put it one side. He called his son. He says, you're taking over. He put a gamsha. And he walked all the way to the Ganges, bank of the river Ganges. He sat down. With what intention? He sat down with the intention to hear. Actually, I was hearing a lecture, Prabhupada is saying in that lecture, you cannot see Krishna. You cannot touch Krishna. You cannot smell Krishna. You cannot taste Krishna. But you can understand Krishna through your ears. Through your ears, through the sound vibration, and entering your ear, you can understand Krishna. This is like so powerful. Actually, of all the organs we have, this ear is the most underestimated and undervalued organ. It is said that when we are about to leave our body, all the organs start to shut down. The different organs, the kidneys, the liver, the heart, everything starts to shut down. But the last organ to shut down is this, the year. Krishna is so kind that till the last moment that this year, we are given the opportunity to hear the transcendental sound vibration. And that transcendental sound vibration can fulfill all our aspirations. So Prabhupada always used to always say, don't waste time. Don't waste time. Whenever you get some opportunity, you hear. You hear. And Maharaj Parikshit, he understood that. He understood that in those 7 days he had. And when Shukdev Goswami came, the first question he asked Shukdev Goswami is, what is the duty of one who is about to die? What should he hear about? What should he speak about? What should he remember? And who should he worship? And Shukdev Goswami's answer was unequivocal. In one instant, he just answered Parikshit Maharaj. He said, the duty of one who is about to die is to always hear about, chant about, remember, and worship the all-good personality of Godhead, Krishna. And then he says, shall we do that? And Maharaj Parikshit says, yes, please. And for the next 7 days, Maharaj Parikshit's ears were filled with that Krishna Katha. And what Maharaj Parikshit heard is what has been recorded in this Srimad Bhagavatam. All of that beautiful, wonderful, enlivening Krishna Katha that he heard over those 7 days has been captured in the Bhagavatam. So therefore it is the Bhagavatam we get the highest quality, of Krishna Katha. And we are so privileged that Srila Prabhupada introduced in this Krishna consciousness movement that every day at least, in the mornings we can hear the words about Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam and the words from Krishna in the evening in the Bhagavad Gita class. And Prabhupada would encourage the devotees, please don't miss the Bhagavatam class. Don't miss the Bhagavad Gita class, because those are some opportunities for us to hear immediately. Hear immediately. Also interesting about the Bhagavatam is when Shukdev Goswami, after 14 years, he was in the womb of his mother, and when he came out, he just walked off. And his father was running behind him, trying to hold him back and stop him. But Shukdev Goswami, he just disappeared. And they went everywhere searching for Shukdev Goswami, couldn't find him. But then they came up with a cunning plan. How do you capture those exalted, liberated souls? How can you flush them out? You speak Krishna Katha. And they went and they quoted these verses and came to the verse, Aho Baki, glorifying the magnanimous nature of Krishna. And like a magnet, as iron filings are attracted to a magnet, Shukdev Goswami's consciousness was just attracted to those messages. And they carried on speaking Krishna Katha, and they drew him all the way back to the ashram. They drew him all the way back to the ashram. So, the gopis, they reiterate a very similar point in the Bhagavatam, in the Gopi Gita. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kavibiritatam kalmasafaham. Shravana mangalam shrimadatatam bhuvi grinantiye yeburida jana. What do the gopis say? They say the description of your words and your activities are the only solace for those suffering in the material world. It's the only solace. The description of the words and the description of the activities of Krishna. And actually there's two people that are suffering in the material world. The first one is that person who is drowning in material suffering, in material entanglement. And the second is those who are drowning in separation from Krishna. One is suffering from the pangs of material suffering, and the other is suffering from the pangs of separation from Krishna. And for both categories, what is the balm? What is the solution? It's the hearing of Krishna Katha. It's the hearing of Krishna Katha. Those who are suffering, the moment you hear, the sound vibration enters, it purifies the heart, and it brings happiness. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion, he describes 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. And the first characteristic is Kleshagni. Kleshagni. The pure devotional service brings immediate relief from material distress. And pure devotional service starts with the process of hearing. And Prabhupada used to say, I created this International Society for Krishna Consciousness simply to give people the opportunity to hear. This whole, Prabhupada is saying, these buildings that we have, all of these facilities that we have, what is its primary purpose according to Srila Prabhupada? What is the primary purpose of ISKCON? Is to give people the opportunity to hear. Because when they take this opportunity to hear, then they will experience the relief. In one purport of this verse, Urakrama Vikramana, Prabhupada says, go door to door, person to person, and pour in their ear holes the messages of Urakrama. You love that class? It's one of my favorite classes. I really love. Prabhupada says, go door to door, person to person, and pour within their ear holes the messages of Urakrama. And Prabhupada says we should also go out and give people this opportunity to hear. Hearing also means giving them a book or giving them the opportunity to hear the holy name. Prabhupada says, the drum and the kartals can go a certain distance. The mridanga can go, 25 meters or so. But the briyat mridanga, the big mridanga, the book, that can go far and wide. Last night we were discussing how there was a famous scholar, Joseph T. McConnell, and he said, the Vaishnavas, they have 2 institutions, the hard institution and the soft institution. The hard institution is the bricks and mortars, the buildings we have. And the soft institution is the Vaishnava literatures. And he said, of the 2 institutions, the soft institution takes precedence in the Vaishnava tradition. Prabhupada says, My temples may fail, my devotees may fail, but my books will never fail. Because these books, they have and they contain Krishna Katha. And wherever these books will go, they will bring about a revolution in the consciousness of the world. One symptom of an eagerness to hear is inquiry. If one has heard properly, then one will have questions. One will have inquiries. That's the nature. If we see throughout the Bhagavatam, all these different personalities, they had so many questions. And I'll conclude with one verse from Maharaj Parikshit. Let's see if I can find it. In the 10th canto, 1st chapter, 13th, Maharaj Parikshit says, Nai shati du saha shum mam tvaktodham api bhaddate pibantam twan mukamboja choyuntam hari katamrita. He says, because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. Yet because I am drinking the nectar of the topics about Krishna, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your Lordship, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, cannot hinder me. If there's something that's very difficult for us to bear, it's hunger and thirst. We know Nirjala Ekadasi. Even though we want to focus on hearing, it's very difficult to bear. So Maharaj Parikshit, he was fasting and not drinking a drop of water. He's saying, although this hunger and thirst is very difficult to bear, but because I am drinking the nectar of topics of you, I am not being troubled. So let's pray for that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So any questions, comments, or reflections? Yes, Subhadra. Only if there's a special speaker. And how did you respond to her? Then Prabhupada would have said, no need to have a Bhagavatam class. Between upper 7 and upper 8, just sit in your rooms and read from my purports. Prabhupada wanted us to hear from everyone. And there's a few reasons for that, I think. Every devotee on their path and journey to Krishna consciousness has their own wonderful realizations. So imagine we read the Bhagavatam and we get one realization. Obviously, it's the greatest realization from Srila Prabhupada. But if you can hear the Bhagavatam and get multiple realizations, one of these may resonate with you and just propel you in your Krishna consciousness. That's one point. The second point is we are obligated to follow the instructions and the directions of the spiritual master. This is what sadhana bhakti is about, to follow the instructions from the spiritual master. And Prabhupada says, you have Bhagavatam class and you should attend Bhagavatam class. So what do we follow? Follow Prabhupada's instruction, because he said that for a purpose. So I would say, coming to Bhagavatam class, as Prabhupada indicated, is the way we should follow. Is that okay? Yeah, that was a different story because Mukunda, Lord Chaitanya was upset with him because sometimes he would go and hear from those who were not pure devotees and may have had some impersonal tendencies. The only caveat we have to going to listen to wherever Bhagavatam is spoken is when the Mayavadis speak Bhagavatam. We never enter that assembly. We never go to that Bhagavatam Katha where the Mayavadis are speaking, because milk touched by the lips of a serpent has poisonous effect. That's the only caveat. And we never know who is a pure devotee. I mean, I saw when Jananivas Prabhu was here, he wouldn't care who's speaking, he would be here sitting. Whenever Yadubar Prabhu is here, he doesn't look who's speaking, he sits here. You see the examples of the great and exalted Vaishnavas.
You were speaking about the guests who come to hear from the lunch. They hear the kirtan. So I was wondering why you differentiate between hearing the holy name and hearing the Bhagavad Gita.
The difference between holy name and hearing the Bhagavatam class?
Yeah, because you were congratulating those who stay to hear the Bhagavad Gita class.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two different types of Krishna Katha, isn't it? The holy name. I was referring to Bhakti Pravaha Maharaj's class, and it was interesting what he said in the class. He was talking about the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And what he was saying in his class was that if we don't hear the Bhagavatam, then we will commit offenses to the holy name. And he elaborated on that. I'm not sure if when you heard Maharaj's class, he said that. He said, if we don't hear the Bhagavatam, we may become offensive to the holy name. He said, what Bhagavatam does, Bhagavatam allows us to connect with the holy name in the mood of servant. And he said, the mood of servant or sambandha comes from us reading the Bhagavatam, hearing about our relationship with Krishna, hearing who Krishna is, and so on. And Maharaj was making that point. But to confirm, yes, why don't do both? Stay for the kirtan, get the benefit of hearing the holy name, and get another powerful dose after that by hearing the Bhagavatam. They're all non-different from Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita and the holy name. So why go for a single dose and not a double dose? Okay, Hare Krishna. Govinda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. Just to follow on, I think part of the reason a lot of people leave is they're very visual in their devotional service. So it's because they see deities in arti, and it might not even be the holy name, it might be the deities that's what they're basically focusing on. And as soon as the curtains close, finished, because they don't think of the hearing side of things.
Yeah, that's true. And also the belly. Prashadam is being served, so I'll miss out on Prashadam.
I am guilty of that, thank you.
Anything else? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. My question has to do with the story of Dhundukari and Gokarna, Dhundukari the ghost. And I guess it's just very concerning to see in that story that out of all the people in that assembly who heard Bhagavatam, only the ghost who got purified of all his sins and got mukti, whereas everyone else still remained. So then, any tips on increasing the intensity of a hearing?
To become the ghost? Didn't you? The thing is, Prabhupada says there's different types of hearing, isn't it? The first type of hearing, it comes out here, goes out there. 1 year, out there. The other type of hearing, it comes in here, it goes, but nothing really happens. No reflection, no thinking. And the last type of hearing is it comes here, it goes here, there's deep reflection, questions, and so on. I was hearing Prabhupada says that the symptom of one who's hearing enthusiastically is they will have more inquiries. Like Maitreya and all of these sages in the Bhagavatam. They're hearing and they're taking in and they're coming up with these amazing questions that just leads to something else. So active listening or active hearing means going in here, not just coming out, but taking it in, thinking about it, reflecting on it, finding questions, and that leads us to greater places. Yeah.
When you shared the order of Prabhupada that we should go door to door to give people the opportunity to hear, my question would be, do you have a tip not to be too attached to immediate results of sharing the hearing and they not really dropping everything and becoming a surrendered devotee?
Sorry, tips about?
Not being too attached to immediate results, that they just drop everything that they know and join the temple and become a surrendered devotee.
Follow your heart and follow the advice of the advanced devotees. And know yourself, know where you are situated. And pray. I mean, my experience in Krishna consciousness, Krishna will help us and lead us.
I was given the tip once, I should only put in as much energy as they return, but I can't do that. I always give everything. So.
Yeah. Prabhupada says, give all you got. Yeah. Sorry, I may not have understood and answer your questions, but the principle is here. Prabhupada always advised, don't hold anything back. What they say, energy flows where attention goes. If you give your full attention to a particular cause, then the energy will follow. Okay. One last question.
Thank you for the really nice class. So I was wondering, when we understand something, is shown by our change of in our actions, in our behavior. So I think in my early Krishna consciousness days, I could hear something and I could see lots of changes like that. But nowadays I hear, but it's not striking me, and I don't want to do anything about it. Why is that?
Depends. It depends on the circumstances. But what you are saying is that previously you were drawn into moving forward and taking action when you experience Krishna consciousness. But now that experiences you feel it's not transforming you as much? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. One analogy Prabhupada gave was quite, when the room is very dusty and you try to clean, it's very prevalent. But the finer details, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the cleaning of the Gundicha temple, there was finer and finer details of cleansing. So maybe when the initial stages, the cleansing is more perceptible because of where we are, but the cleansing process becomes more and more subtle. More subtle anarthas are there. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur advises that we should always take time for self-reflection. And he says on every Ekadasi comes twice a month, we should at least use those 2 Ekadasis for self-reflection, to see what's happening in our spiritual lives. Are we moving in the right direction? If we're not, what is the cause? And if we can't diagnose ourselves, there are many expert doctors around us in this society. Approach them and they may tell us the subtleties of what's going on. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol.
His Grace Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.